And many Vermonters will pay more to live in their towns thanks to property tax hikes, and now they could pay more to shop there too. A bill in front of Governor Phil Scott would allow more towns to impose local option taxes without legislative approval. Channel 3 political reporter Calvin Cutler was in Williston, one town that already has those taxes.
Williston was the first town in Vermont to pass a local option tax about 20 years ago, aimed at shoppers flocking to big box stores and retail. It was meant to provide some property tax relief by raising additional revenue. And in the years since, other towns have taken a similar approach. The fourth time is the charm for a new tax in the town of Berlin. Town meeting day voters this year approved a 1% sales, meals, rooms, and alcohol tax.
Our, total town highway budget's a little over $1 million a year, which totally falls on the property taxpayers of Berlin.
Berlin Town Administrator Tour Nelson says roads and infrastructure in town of about 3,000 people are utilized by about 20,000 daily.
Well, I like to have a plan. I like to be able to tell people what we're going to use this money for.
He estimates the new local options tax will generate about $650,000 annually to pay for culverts, bridges, and paving projects in town that have been pushed back.
And that's not any way to run a town, pushing off projects. When the residents of that town, they just want to know when the road's going to get paved, when it's going to get fixed.
32 Vermont towns and cities, mostly those with significant numbers of retailers and restaurants, have some type of local option tax. But Ted Brady with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns says short-term rentals and online sales are happening across Vermont. He says imposing taxes on those services locally will help towns reduce their property tax burden.
The local option tax has given a relief valve on the property tax system here in Vermont so that municipalities can continue to pave your roads, municipalities continue to pay their cops, they can continue to make sure that you have parks and rec services. You go down the list.
Right now, if towns want to adopt a tax, towns have to create or change their charter. Then the legislature has to give it the thumbs up. A provision in a bill passed by the legislature would allow local voters to bypass lawmakers and pass their own local option taxes on town meeting day.
I'm not a big fan of raising any taxes, but the horse is out of the barn on this one a long time ago.
Governor Phil Scott, who also lives in Berlin, says it's only fair that all towns be able to pass their own option taxes. Now, this is just one of many bills which are currently in front of Governor Phil Scott, and some of which could still end in a veto. Reporting in Williston, Calvin Cutler, Channel 3 News.